I'm here at Humphrey's Welding Supply where I had my power tank refilled. We're gonna go pick it up. Well, picked it up and let's go put it back in the Jeep. You notice I got a little hair tie here. I actually use this to wrap around the lock so it doesn't rattle. So now when we're driving on the trail, you know, this will make a lot less noise because it's all pulled in tight. Next we'll take it home, put the regulator on, the handle, and a new surprise, which we'll do in a second. But before we do that, I've got one more surprise. I'm here at Advanced Powder Coating, and you may recall that the rings on our Jeep were black, and then we painted them red for a little bit. Well, I wanted to do something a little bit tougher. The paint was starting to scratch up. It had gotten a lot of dings and things like that. These wheels are great wheels, and the trim rings protect the wheels themselves as we're going off-road, and after all the trips we did last year, they got quite a few hits, quite a few bumps and dings and things like that. So we got them powder coated so that it'll protect them a little bit, give them a little extra strength, and I'm really excited to see how they turned out.
You got something on your neck, Colby.
Well, there they are. I'm excited to get these put on. Got back to the garage, and now it's time to put the power tank back together. Before we do that, got a box. Priority mail from Power Tank. Thought we'd open it up together. Power Tank had a little VIP sale the other day, and I wanted to take advantage of something, so I've got a new tank boot. This tank boot is made to replace the one here. I actually found that this has a crack in it. See that? So this is about 3 or 4 years old. I got this at one of my first Easter Jeep safaris with my JK a few years back, and I've used it heavily ever since. But when I found that crack, I thought, you know what, I want to make sure take good care of it, and the boot was on sale, so I took advantage of it. Directions: soak boot in hot tap water for 1 to 2 minutes, place boot on floor, and slip bottom of tank into it. So we'll do that here in just a second. I also got something that I've been looking forward to ever since they first came out. An aluminum power tank knob. Look at that. This I'm very excited about. In fact, when they first came out with these, they didn't come in this color gray, and I really wanted it to be gray because I thought it would look really good, really sharp with the red power tank. And a few months later, they actually released it in this gunmetal gray. So we are gonna take a wrench on the top of this, take this off, and then put this new handle on. So see this square knob here, that's gonna go right into there. So I'm gonna kind of put this over top of this, wiggle it into place, okay? And then I loosely thread this down. So luckily I had a little socket, little 1/2 inch size socket that fit inside there, but that's gonna be a tricky part for you if you're gonna do this upgrade. You gotta make sure you've got a socket that actually fits. Tighten that all the way down. So next, we are going to put the handle back on. So this is the regulator, and here's the handle. The handle goes on with an Allen. This is an 8mm Allen key. Just going to loosen these up. Take these out. One thing I really love about power tanks is how beefy all the materials are. Everything's machined really well. It's got really good quality parts. They do not cut corners. Power tank is a phenomenal, phenomenal product. I'm very, very pleased with it. So I'm going to loosely screw on my regulator. And the brilliant part of the power tank, if you do your research, is not the tank itself. And a lot of people say, oh, well, you can make your own tank. You know, it's so expensive to get a power tank. You can, you know, make your own for cheap. And, you know, while it is fairly inexpensive to buy just a tank, you know, it's not the tank that's the secret, it's the regulator. The regulator has this high flow that just surpasses anything else out there. Do your research, learn about it. It is phenomenal stuff. So now I'm gonna carefully, not loosely, but carefully tighten this up, okay? Might need to brace it. I wanna do it so I'm not damaging my regulator. All right, that's all in place. Next, I'm gonna take this and run this handle back in. Whip this around, and then once we do this, it'll be easy to get the tank boot off, because we'll be able to use the handle to hold onto the top of it. Now, because these are just tightening on each side, you want to make sure that you are tightening them evenly. So don't go all the way tight on one side and then, you know, then the other side can't tighten evenly. You want to make sure you kind of do it in stages. Starting to get tight, so as I do it, I'm going to make sure that I'm lining it up. I'm going to line this up evenly with the regulator. Everything looks nice. Everything functions well. And give that some good cranks. Same thing for this side. All right. There we go. Looking good. Next, let's do the boot. First thing we gotta do is get the old boot off. Now I'm gonna start by just putting my feet on it, seeing if I can wedge it off. I was afraid that wasn't gonna happen. So, we could try rubber mallet next. That seems to work, although I'm putting scuffs on my power tank. Not thrilled about that. There we go. Boot is off. A little dirty. Let's get it cleaned up. We're going to start with some Clorox wipes. Let's see if this allows us to get those rubber marks off and get off all that dust. You see that mark right there? Just give it a good rub. And we are shiny and new again. We'll do the bottom while we're here. All right. We'll put it inside the box for a second. So once again, the instructions say soak this in hot tap water for 1 to 2 minutes, place it on the floor, and slip it in. So let's go do that right now. Rather than fill up the whole sink, I'm gonna use a bowl. So So this isn't rocket science. All you're doing is warming up the plastic enough that it gets just a little bit soft. It's not melting it. The warm water is just gonna make it a little softer, make it easier to drop that tank into it, and then as it cools, it's gonna harden and then kind of hold it in place exactly where it needs to. All right, so drop it right in. And that's it. That's how you install a tank boot on a power tank and that new knob on the top. Pretty cool. Nice little upgrade. I'm excited about getting this back into the Jeep so we can use it for our next trip to Moab. So, I'm gonna put our little tank cover on here. This keeps everything dust free. And then put it up into place. I like to rotate this up like that, lock it down into place, and then put our lock back on. All filled up, ready for next time. You'll notice up on my window up here, I mark every time I use a power tank to fill up a tire, I give it a little tick mark, and then when the tank goes empty, I'll put the date in here. And so I'll repeat this again with this next tank, and it'll be able to help me track how many tires I'm able to get out of it, so I'll know approximately when to fill it back up again. One more thing before we end today. I realized that as I was making this video, I was under the impression that by wearing my earbuds, I was recording audio through them the whole time. And apparently that was not the case. So I look like one of those guys that just wears his earbuds for no reason. Maybe I am. Are you one of those guys? Are you one of those girls? Let me know in the comments below. Would also love to know if you like power tank, or you prefer an air compressor, or do you have a completely different way of airing up your tires? Put it in the comments below. Let us know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video if you think it's appropriate. Appreciate your watching, and stay tuned for more videos. We're going to be putting on the trim rings next. Getting these done since we just got them powder coated, and then we have some great trips to Moab coming up where we're going to bring the whole family down and do some really exciting trails. Thanks for watching.